Welcome to our channel. Today, we are going to practice one of the most useful parts of everyday English, making plans with a friend. You might want to meet someone after work. You might want to make plans for the weekend, or you might simply want to find out if your friend is free. These conversations are usually simple, but knowing the right expressions can make you sound much more natural and confident. Let's start with a very common question. What are you up to? This is a casual way to ask someone what they are doing or what they have planned. For example, if you send a message to your friend in the afternoon, you can ask, "What are you up to tonight? What are you up to this weekend? What are you up to tomorrow?" The word tonight means this evening or night. The word tomorrow means the day after today. And this weekend refers to the coming Saturday and Sunday. Now imagine your friend asks you, "What are you up to this weekend?" You don't have any plans. You can say, "I'm not doing anything special." This means you don't have a particular activity planned. You could also say, "I don't have any plans yet." The word yet is important here. It tells us that something has not happened up to now, but it may happen later. For example, "I haven't decided yet." "I'm not sure yet." "I don't know yet." Now imagine that you want to make plans with your friend. You can ask, "Are you free this weekend?" This is one of the most natural ways to check someone's availability. Free in this context means not busy or available. You can also ask, "Are you free tomorrow evening?" "Are you free after work?" "Are you free on Saturday?" Another useful expression is, "Do you have any plans?" This question is slightly broader. You are asking whether the person already has something arranged. For example, "Do you have any plans for Saturday?" "Do you have any plans tonight?" "Do you have any plans after work?" Now imagine your friend says, "I'm not sure. I might have some work to do." The word might is useful when something is possible, but you are not certain. For example, "I might go out tonight." "I might stay home." "I might be busy tomorrow." This is different from saying, "I will." "I will" sounds more certain. "I might" means there is a possibility. Now imagine your friend says, "I'm free on Saturday." This gives you an opportunity to suggest something. You can say, "Would you like to meet up?" Meet up means to meet someone, usually in a casual or social way. You can also say, "Do you want to hang out?" Hang out means to spend relaxed, informal time with someone. For example, "Do you want to hang out this weekend?" "Would you like to meet up after work?" These expressions are very common when talking to friends. Now let's say you have an idea. You want to go for coffee. You can say, "Would you like to grab some coffee?" The expression "grab some coffee" means to go somewhere and have coffee. You can use the same structure with other activities. "Would you like to grab some lunch?" "Do you want to grab a quick bite?" "Do you want to go for a walk?" The phrase "go for a walk" simply means to take a walk, usually for relaxation or exercise. Now imagine that your friend doesn't have a specific plan either. You can say, "Why don't we get some lunch?" "Why don't we?" is a very useful way to make a suggestion. For example, "Why don't we watch a movie?" "Why don't we go somewhere quiet?" "Why don't we meet after work?" Notice that this does not literally mean you are asking why the two of you should not do something. In everyday English, "Why don't we?" is often simply a friendly suggestion. Another useful expression is, "How about Saturday?" "How about" is another easy way to suggest an option. "How about tomorrow?" "How about this evening?" "How about meeting at 6?" You can use it when you already have an idea and want to see whether the other person agrees. Now imagine your friend likes your idea. You can respond with, "Sounds good." "That sounds great. I'd love to." "Sure, I'd be happy to." These expressions show enthusiasm or agreement. "I'd love to" is especially useful when you genuinely want to do something. For example, "Would you like to join us?" "I'd love to." "Do you want to grab lunch?" "I'd love to." Now let's imagine your friend is busy. They say, "Sorry, I'm busy on Saturday." You don't need to end the conversation. You can ask, "What about Sunday?" Or, "Are you free on Sunday?" Or, "When are you free?" The question, "When are you free?" is useful when you want the other person to suggest a suitable time. Now let's put today's expressions into a natural conversation. Imagine you are talking to a friend. What are you up to this weekend? I don't have any plans yet. Are you free on Saturday? Yes, I am. Would you like to grab some coffee? Sure, that sounds good. What about lunch afterward? I'd love to. Great. Let's meet up around noon. That works for me. Notice how simple the conversation is. You are not using difficult grammar. You are using flexible expressions that can be changed depending on the situation. Now let's learn some important vocabulary. Available means free and able to do something. Possibility means something that may happen. Suggestion means an idea that you offer to someone. Arrange means to organize or plan something. Casual means relaxed and informal. Enthusiasm means strong interest or excitement about something, and meet up means to meet someone socially. Now let's finish with a focused shadowing passage. Imagine you are messaging a friend. What are you up to this weekend? I don't have any plans yet. Are you free on Saturday? What about Sunday? Would you like to meet up? We could grab some coffee or we could get some lunch. That sounds great. I'd love to. What time are you free? Let's figure it out tomorrow. I'll let you know. Excellent work. Today you learned how to start making plans naturally. You learned how to ask whether someone is free. You learned how to talk about uncertain plans. You practiced several ways to make suggestions, and you learned how to respond when someone agrees or is unavailable. Remember these patterns. What are you up to? Are you free? Do you have any plans? Would you like to? Why don't we? How about? What about? When are you free? These expressions are worth learning because you can use them again and again. Don't memorize them as isolated sentences. Change the final words and create your own conversations. Talk about tomorrow. Talk about the weekend. Talk about your evening. Talk about meeting a friend. The more you connect these expressions to your real life, the more naturally they will come to you. Keep listening, keep practicing, and keep speaking English in your daily life. In the previous chapter, we learned how to start a conversation about making plans. You practiced asking if a friend is free. You also learned how to talk about your availability and suggest meeting up. Now let's take the next step. Once you know that your friend is available, you need to decide what to do. Maybe you want to get coffee. Maybe you want to watch a movie. Maybe you want to have lunch. Or maybe you simply want to spend some time together. Today, we are going to learn how to make suggestions naturally. Let's begin with a very useful expression. How about? You can use this expression when you want to suggest an idea. For example, how about getting some coffee? How about going for a walk? How about watching a movie? Notice the structure. How about is followed by an activity ending in ing. This makes it easy to create your own suggestions. How about having lunch? How about meeting at the park? How about going out tonight? Now let's look at another useful expression. Why don't we? This is also used to make suggestions. Why don't we get some lunch? Why don't we watch a movie? Why don't we meet after work? It is a friendly and natural way to suggest something. You can also use, we could. This sounds slightly more open. You are giving an idea without saying that it is the only choice. We could go to a restaurant. We could watch something at home. We could meet somewhere near you. The word could is useful because it presents an option. You are not saying that the plan is definite. You are simply saying that it is possible. Now imagine your friend asks, what should we do? You have a few ideas. You could say, we could grab some coffee, or we could get something to eat. The word or is useful when you want to present another option. You can say, we could go for a walk, or we could stay here. We could meet in the afternoon, or we could meet in the evening. This makes your conversation more flexible. Now let's imagine that your friend suggests something first. They say, how about going to the movies? You like the idea. You can say, that sounds good, or that sounds like fun. The expression that sounds like fun means you think the activity will be enjoyable. You can also say, I'd be up for that. Be up for is a casual expression meaning that you are willing or interested in doing something. For example, I'm up for a movie. I'm up for lunch. I'm up for a walk. This expression is especially common in casual conversations with friends. Now imagine your friend suggests something you don't really want to do. You don't have to say no immediately. You can respond politely. I'm not really in the mood for that. The expression in the mood for means that you currently feel like doing something. For example, I'm in the mood for coffee. I'm in the mood for something sweet. I'm not in the mood for going out. This is a very useful expression because our preferences can change depending on how we feel. Now imagine your friend says, "Do you want to go to a crowded restaurant?" You are tired and want something quiet. You could say, "I'm not really in the mood for a crowded place." Then offer another idea. How about somewhere quieter? This is a natural way to disagree without ending the conversation. Now let's talk about preferences. Sometimes you have a clear preference. You can say, "I'd rather stay home." "I'd rather go somewhere quiet." "I'd rather meet in the afternoon." The expression "I'd rather" means that you prefer one option over another. For example, "I'd rather have coffee than tea." "I'd rather stay home tonight." "I'd rather meet tomorrow." You can also use "I'd prefer." This is a little more formal. "I'd prefer to meet in the afternoon." "I'd prefer somewhere quieter." For casual conversations with friends, "I'd rather" is often more natural. Now imagine that both of you have different ideas. Your friend wants to go to a restaurant. You want to get coffee. Instead of arguing, you can find a middle ground. How about we get coffee first and then decide? The expression "middle ground" means a solution that is somewhere between two different choices. You don't always need to choose one person's idea. You can combine ideas. For example, we could have lunch first and then watch a movie. We could meet at the park and decide what to do afterward. We could grab coffee before we go shopping. The word "afterward" means later, after something else has happened. Now let's talk about invitations. If you want your friend to join you, you can say, "Do you want to come with me? Would you like to join us? Why don't you come along?" Come along means to join someone who is already going somewhere. For example, "We're going to the park. Why don't you come along?" This is a friendly way to invite someone. Now imagine your friend accepts your invitation. They might say, "Sure, I'd love to." "Sounds great. Count me in." Count me in is a casual expression meaning that you want to participate. For example, "We're going hiking on Sunday." Count me in, we're ordering pizza tonight. Count me in. Now imagine your friend cannot come. They can say, "I'd love to, but I can't. I'm afraid I'm busy." Maybe another time. Maybe another time is a polite way to decline while showing that you may be interested in the future. Let's put these expressions into a natural conversation. You ask your friend about the weekend. "Are you free on Saturday?" "Yes, I am." "What should we do? How about getting some coffee?" "That sounds good. We could also get some lunch afterward." "I'd be up for that." "Where should we go? Maybe somewhere quiet." "I'd rather avoid crowded places." "Sure, we could try that new cafe." "Sounds great. Count me in." Notice how the conversation moves naturally. One person suggests something, the other person responds, then another idea is added. This is how real conversations develop. You don't need to prepare every sentence in advance. You simply need useful expressions that allow you to react. Now let's learn today's key vocabulary. Suggest means to give someone an idea. Option means one possible choice. Preference means something you like more than another choice. Afterward means later. Decline means politely say no to an invitation or offer. Participate means take part in an activity. Flexible means willing to change plans or choices. And crowded describes a place with many people. Now let's finish with a natural shadowing passage. Imagine that you are making plans with your friend. "What should we do this weekend? How about getting some coffee? That sounds like fun. We could have lunch afterward. I'd be up for that." What about going somewhere quiet? I'd rather avoid crowded places. We could try the new cafe. That sounds good. Would you like to join us? Sure, I'd love to. Great, count me in. Now you have several natural ways to suggest activities and respond to ideas. Remember that conversations become easier when you don't rely on one expression. Instead of always saying, "Do you want to?" you can use "How about?" "Why don't we?" "We could." "Would you like to?" And when you respond, you can say, "That sounds good." "I'd be up for that." "I'd rather." "Maybe another time." "Count me in." These expressions give you more flexibility. They also help your English sound less repetitive and more natural. The goal is not to use the most complicated phrase. The goal is to have several simple options available when you speak. Keep practicing, keep listening, and keep building your confidence one conversation at a time. In the last chapter, we learned how to suggest activities and respond naturally to different ideas. Now you have decided what you want to do. The next step is making the plan specific. You need to decide when to meet, where to meet, and sometimes how you are going to get there. This is where many everyday conversations use short and practical expressions. Let's begin with one of the most useful questions. What time works for you? This means, what time is convenient for you? You can use this when you are flexible and want your friend to suggest a suitable time. For example, what time works for you tomorrow? What time works for you on Saturday? What time works for you after work? Your friend might answer, "How about 6?" You can respond, "6 works for me," or simply, "That works." This means the suggested time is convenient for you. Another useful expression is, "Are you free around 6?" The word around is important. It means approximately that time, so around 6 could mean a little before or a little after 6. For example, "I'll be there around 7. Let's meet around noon. Can you call me around 5? Now imagine that 6 doesn't work for you. You can suggest another time. "6 doesn't really work for me. Could we meet a little later? How about 7 instead?" The word "instead" helps you offer an alternative. You are not rejecting the entire plan. You are simply changing one part of it. Now let's talk about choosing a place. You can ask, "Where should we meet?" This is a simple and natural question. Your friend might suggest, "How about the cafe near the station?" You can respond, "That works," or "Sure, that's convenient." The word convenient means easy or suitable for you. For example, "That location is convenient." "The station is convenient for me." It's convenient because it's close to my office. Now imagine the suggested place is too far away. You can say, "That's a little far for me," or "Could we meet somewhere closer?" The word "closer" means nearer. You can also say, "Is there somewhere near you?" Or, "Do you know a good place nearby?" The word "nearby" means close to where you are. For example, "There's a supermarket nearby." "Let's find a cafe nearby." "Is there a restaurant nearby?" Now imagine that you and your friend are choosing between two places. You can say, "Which one do you prefer?" This asks someone to choose between options. Your friend might answer, "I think the cafe near the park is better." You can say, "Sounds good to me." This means you agree with the suggestion. Another useful expression is, "I'm fine with either one." This means that both choices are acceptable to you. For example, "Do you want to meet at the cafe or the restaurant?" "I'm fine with either one." This is a very useful expression when you don't have a strong preference. Now let's talk about confirming plans. Once you have decided everything, you want to make sure both people understand the same details. You can say, "So, we're meeting at 7. This is a natural way to confirm information. Your friend can answer, "Yes, 7 at the cafe near the station." You can respond, "Perfect," or "Sounds like a plan." Sounds like a plan means that you agree with the proposed arrangement. For example, "Let's meet at 6 and get dinner afterward." Sounds like a plan. Now imagine that you want to make the arrangement even clearer. You can say, Just to confirm, we're meeting at 7. The expression just to confirm is useful when you want to check that something is correct. For example, just to confirm, we're meeting tomorrow. Just to confirm, the meeting starts at 10. Just to confirm, you're coming with us. This expression is especially useful when there are several details involved. Now let's talk about transportation. Sometimes you need to explain how you are getting somewhere. You can say, I'll drive. I'll take the bus. I'll take the train. I'll walk. I'm getting a ride. The expression get a ride means that someone else will drive you somewhere. For example, I'll get a ride from my brother. Can I get a ride with you? Now imagine your friend asks, do you need a ride? You can say, yes, that would be great. Or, no, I'm good. No, I'm good is a casual way to say that you don't need anything. You can also ask, do you want me to pick you up? Pick you up means to go somewhere and collect someone in a vehicle. For example, I'll pick you up at 7. Can you pick me up after work? This is extremely useful everyday vocabulary. Now imagine that your plans suddenly change. Maybe your friend sends you a message. Can we meet a little later? You can respond, sure, that's fine, or no problem, but perhaps you already have another appointment. You can say, I can't make it that late. The expression, I can't make it, means that you cannot attend or arrive at a particular time or place. For example, I can't make it tonight. I can't make it before 6. Sorry, I can't make it. You can then offer another option. Could we meet tomorrow instead? This keeps the conversation positive and solution-focused. Now let's put today's expressions together. Imagine you and your friend have already decided to get coffee. You need to choose the details. What time works for you? How about 6? 6 works for me. Where should we meet? How about the cafe near the station? That sounds good. Is it easy for you to get there? Yeah, it's very convenient. Perfect. Just to confirm, we're meeting at 6 at the cafe near the station. Exactly. Sounds like a plan. This is how a simple idea becomes a clear plan. Now let's learn today's vocabulary. Convenient means easy or suitable. Nearby means close to your current location. Alternative means another possible choice. Confirm means to make sure that something is correct. Arrangement means a plan that has been organized. Prefer means to like one option more than another. Approximately means close to a particular amount or time, and make it can mean successfully attend or arrive somewhere. Now let's finish with a focused shadowing passage. Imagine you are arranging the details with your friend. What time works for you? How about 6? 6 works for me. Where should we meet? Let's meet at the cafe near the station. That sounds good. Is it convenient for you? Yes, it's perfect. Just to confirm, we're meeting at 6. Exactly. Sounds like a plan. I'll see you there. Perfect. Today you learned how to turn a general idea into a specific arrangement. You practiced asking about time. You practiced choosing a location. You learned how to offer alternatives. You learned how to confirm details, and you learned useful expressions for transportation and changing plans. Remember, natural conversations often use short sentences. You don't need to say a long sentence when a simple one works. That works. Sounds good. How about 6? Where should we meet? Just to confirm. These small expressions make everyday communication much easier. In the next chapter, we will put everything together. You will start with a simple message to a friend. You will make a plan. You will change one detail. You will solve a small problem. And you will finish with a complete, natural conversation. Keep listening. Keep practicing. And keep speaking English in your daily life. This is the final chapter of today's lesson. You have already learned how to start making plans. You practiced suggesting activities. You learned how to choose a time and place. Now we are going to put everything together. Imagine that you want to make plans with a friend for the weekend. This time, don't focus on memorizing individual sentences. Focus on how the conversation moves naturally from one idea to another. Let's begin. You send your friend a message. Hey, what are you up to this weekend? Your friend replies, I'm not sure yet. Why? You answer, I was thinking about doing something together. The expression, I was thinking about, is a natural way to introduce an idea without making it sound too direct. For example, I was thinking about going out tonight. I was thinking about getting some lunch. I was thinking about watching a movie. Your friend responds, sure, I'm free on Saturday. Now you need to decide what to do. You say, how about getting some coffee? Your friend likes the idea. That sounds good. You continue, we could get some lunch afterward. Your friend agrees, I'd be up for that. Now you need to decide when to meet. You ask, what time works for you? Your friend says, how about 12? You think about it. 12 works for me. Now you need to decide where to meet. You ask, where should we meet? Your friend suggests a place. How about the cafe near the station? You remember that the cafe is convenient for you. That sounds perfect. Now the main plan is decided, but you want to make sure everything is clear. You say, just to confirm, we're meeting at 12 at the cafe near the station. Your friend answers, exactly. You say, sounds like a plan. You both agree to meet there. But the next morning, something unexpected happens. Your friend sends you a message. Hey, can we meet a little later? You ask, what time were you thinking? Your friend says, maybe around 1. You check your schedule. 1 works for you. You answer, sure, that's fine. Notice that you didn't repeat the entire plan. You simply changed the part that needed to change. This is an important communication skill. When plans change, focus on the new information. Your friend then says, thanks, I'll see you at 1. You answer, sounds good, see you then. Later, you arrive at the cafe. You look around but don't see your friend. You send a message. I'm here. Where are you? Your friend replies, I'm outside. I'll be there in a minute. You answer, no problem. Take your time. Your friend arrives. You greet each other. Hey, good to see you. Good to see you too. You both go inside. You decide to get coffee first. You look at the menu. Your friend asks, what do you want? You say, I'm not sure yet. Let me take a look. After looking at the menu, you make your choice. I'll have a coffee. Your friend orders 2, then you sit down and start talking. Your friend asks, how have you been? This means, how have you been recently? You answer, I've been pretty good. I've just been really busy with work. Your friend says, I know what you mean. I've been busy too. You ask a follow-up question. What have you been working on? Your friend explains. You listen and respond naturally. That sounds interesting. How is it going? Your friend tells you that the project has been difficult. You say, I hope it works out. The expression work out means to develop successfully or have a good result. For example, I hope everything works out. I hope your plans work out. Don't worry, it'll work out. Now you finish your coffee. You both decide to get lunch. You ask, are you still up for lunch? Still up for means that someone remains interested in doing something that was previously discussed. Your friend says, absolutely. You decide to walk to a nearby restaurant. Before leaving, you ask, do you want to walk or take the bus? Your friend says, let's walk. It's not too far. You agree. Sounds good to me. You leave the cafe together. As you walk, you continue talking. This is another important lesson. Real conversations don't always stay focused on one topic. They move naturally. You talk about work. Then you talk about food. Then you talk about the weekend. Then you talk about something completely different. You don't need to prepare every topic. You simply respond to what the other person says. Now let's review the complete planning conversation in shadowing style. Imagine that you are speaking to your friend. What are you up to this weekend? I was thinking about doing something together. I'm free on Saturday. How about getting some coffee? That sounds good. We could get some lunch afterward. I'd be up for that. What time works for you? How about 12? 12 works for me. Where should we meet? How about the cafe near the station? That sounds perfect. Just to confirm, we're meeting at 12 at the cafe near the station. Exactly. Sounds like a plan. Now imagine the plan changes. Can we meet a little later? What time were you thinking? Maybe around 1? 1 works for me. Sure, that's fine. I'll see you at 1. Sounds good. See you then. Now you arrive at the cafe. I'm here. Where are you? I'm outside. I'll be there in a minute. No problem. Take your time. Good to see you. Good to see you too. What do you want? I'm not sure yet. Let me take a look. I'll have a coffee. How have you been? I've been pretty good. I've just been really busy with work. I know what you mean. What have you been working on? That sounds interesting. How is it going? I hope it works out. Are you still up for lunch? Absolutely. Do you want to walk or take the bus? Let's walk. Sounds good to me. Excellent. Now let's review the most important vocabulary from today's lesson. Availability means whether someone is free to do something. Arrangement means a plan that has been organized. Confirm means to make sure something is correct. Nearby means close to a particular place. Unexpected means something that you did not plan or predict. Work out means to have a successful result. Follow-up question means a question that continues the conversation. And still up for means still interested in doing something. There is one final lesson I want you to remember. Making plans is not only about knowing how to invite someone, it is about managing a conversation. You ask, you suggest, you listen, you respond, you negotiate, you confirm, and sometimes you adjust the plan. That is real communication. You don't need perfect English to do this. You need enough useful expressions to keep moving forward. If your friend suggests a time you don't like, offer another one. If the location is inconvenient, suggest somewhere else. If your plans change, explain the change simply. And if you don't understand something, ask. Communication becomes easier when you stop trying to create perfect sentences and start focusing on the message you want to communicate. Now try this exercise after the lesson. Imagine that you are planning a weekend with a friend. Say the conversation out loud. Choose the activity yourself. Choose the time yourself. Choose the location yourself. Then change one detail. Maybe the time changes. Maybe the location changes. Maybe your friend cannot come. Practice responding naturally. This will force you to create English instead of simply remembering it. That is exactly what shadowing practice should lead toward. First, you listen. Then, you imitate. Then, you understand. Finally, you create your own sentences. That's how passive knowledge gradually becomes active speaking ability. Keep listening, keep shadowing, keep practicing, and most importantly, keep using English in your daily life.